呢個 hi 啦。咁我俾條 link 大家。咁俾條 link 大家之後，我就會 mute Google Meet 㗎。C0I3。好 testing。testing 聲 YouTube 聲 OK。好細聲。細唔細聲啊？細聲話我知。細唔細聲啊？細聲話我知。Hi, hello everyone. Say hi, so I know you are here. Hi, hello everyone. Say hi, so I know you are here. Is sound okay? Is the sound okay? Could you hear well? Is the sound okay? Could you hear well? With some echo, yes, that's right. Because I didn't mute the YouTube sound. Thank you very much. Yeah, I will. I turn it off now. So I think it should be okay now. But is it the sound volume okay? Is it too loud, too soft, or it's fine? Or say a hi after you have arrived here. Volume is fine. Okay, thanks. So you can see from the cover photo and also the live title here that we are going to chapter 7 about equation of circle. We skip chapter 4 because we hope we could do it in our face-to-face lesson instead of our online lesson. Online doing linear programming is not a very good option. So we try our best. We hope we can wait until we have our lesson in classroom. Then therefore we skip the chapter 4 for a moment and then chapter 7 first. So I changed to the textbook display. So chapter 7 is about equation of circle. Talking about equation, then is very familiar. Is we have equation of straight lines or equation of parabolas. Now it is the equation of circle, and therefore you know equation is about relation between x and y. When we talk about relation between x and y, that means we try to also consider the graph. That is the graph on the xy axis. So to see if we have a circle on the xy plane, then what will be the relation between xy? That is every point on the circle. Then how are the points xy related? Okay. We begin. Of course, since it's about since this chapter will be about xy coordinates, so everything we learned about xy coordinates before will be useful, but I try not to review every of those one by one with you, because throughout all this year we have always been talking about the xy coordinates. So just briefly see all those. Okay, so it will be about equation of circle. For example, you can see here a circle on the xy plane. And then so some basic knowledge, some knowledge review. We will need distance formula. We should know the meaning for slope. Of course, I think you do know well. Slope, then we may need perpendicular lines and parallel lines. And also the point of division, the section formula, and also the midpoint formula. And also about equation of straight line, which we learned in Form 4, although we also have done some MC tests before. So y equal to mx plus c generally. there for straight line, and well, on the other hand, sometimes we may also need parabola, although not very often. We don't usually put parabola and circle at the same time. But then this chapter, our focus will be on circle. Therefore, today we will introduce how to find equation of circle. We begin with the meaning for circle. By the way, you remember in the first term, also the first two chapters, I mean chapter 1 and chapter 2, we learn about circle properties. Therefore, some circle properties may also be used in when we talk about equation of circle, because both are about circle, and so it is possible that circle properties may be used here. Or of course, for when we use circle properties, mostly we are doing like finding angles or finding sides, which is quite different from the doing circle equation, because for equation we want to know the position of the circle as well. But then when we do in chapter 1, chapter 2, the circle properties, we don't really care about position. We just want to know, oh, there is a circle and then some tangent line, for example, some chords, some angles, then we find them. But then in this chapter, where we talk about equation as well, equation comes from the xy coordinates, and then the xy coordinates shows position. Therefore, the position may also be very important. But then don't forget, we learn some circle properties, and they can be used here. Alright, so we begin. There are some review exercises. You can feel free, you can do it if you have time, and if you want to do more review, but we don't do it here. Okay, with equation of circle. So equation, as usual, it will be a relation between x and y. Okay, I can't write anything. Okay, for equation, it will be a relation between x and y. And therefore, we try to write a relation. Usually, this relation will be in the form of an equation with equal. And then so we try to write a equal relation between x and y. That is the equation. Okay, so then we start from the meaning for a circle. Okay, start from a meaning for circle. So circle simply means that there is a fixed point in the middle, and then this point. Okay, so I'll try to show it here. So for a circle, then it means we have a fixed point in the middle, and that point will be called a center. A fixed point center. And then if from the fixed point center we also have a fixed distance, that is called a radius. Then we collect all the points from the fixed point center, and then we go a fixed distance radius, and then the line, the outside or the circumference or the perimeter will be the circle. So this is a fixed distance from a fixed point. Maybe we can highlight this one. This is a fixed point with a fixed distance. Okay, with fixed point with a fixed distance, and we can make use of this meaning of a circle to write down the equation easily. 我睇下 PYC 咧係咪有啲咩嘢先？係冇嘅 ，OK， 冇特別。Oh, let's go on. So we can use the meaning of circle for to write down the equation easily. It is if we have a fixed point, the center, and then we have a fixed distance r, the radius, and then we use this point and distance relation, and then we can write down the equation easily, because for a circle we have a fixed distance of radius r from the point hk, the fixed point hk. Therefore, we require that any point on the circle xy, any point on the circle xy, it should satisfy the distance from P to C should be the same as radius, and this r is fixed. So the distance from the any point on the circle to the fixed point center will be fixed. Therefore, PC equal r, and then we can use the distance formula, and then to write this first equation. The first equation. Okay, this is the distance formula. Square root, and then this xy is the P, and then hk is the point C, and then distance is r. And usually for equation, then we usually don't like the square root sign. Therefore, we do a squaring both sides. and then this gives us it is already a relation between xy, and xy is any point on a circle, and therefore this is already a relation between xy, and then that is our equation of circle. Therefore, if we are to talk about equation of circle, then that's already our target. Okay, this is already our goal. So we call this form of circle equation, we call it the standard form, or sometimes we also call it the center radius form, because from this form of equation we can see the center and radius easily. From this form, the center will be the middle fixed point, that is hk, therefore it will be this h and k. So if we know this equation in this form, then we can see the center easily. We can also see the radius r easily. Alright, let's do some really quick example. So suppose now I have a circle, but in order to fix a circle, we have to say the fixed point, that is we have to fix the center, and also we say the fixed distance, that is we fix the radius. So if we want to fix the circle, we need to fix the center and radius. So now suppose I say the center is okay, this is -1, 2 for example, and then I want to draw a circle. I try to draw it good. Okay, that's better. And then I suppose the radius here is okay, maybe 3. Then let's try to write down the equation of this circle. Try to write down. We don't need to do a lot of calculation. You can see here the form of the equation is very like coming from the center and coming from the radius. Therefore, we don't really need to write. We don't need to calculate a lot. Just write down directly. Alright. So what will it be? It will be then now the point center is -1, 2. Therefore, x minus -1 and then squared plus y minus 2 and then squared equal to the radius squared, that is 3 squared. Simplifying it, so we try to simplify the minus, negative, and also the 3 squared. We simplify it, and simplifying it, then we have x plus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals to 3 squared is 9, and therefore this is the standard form of the circle. Any questions for this one? So I hope it is not difficult, and in fact I also put this chapter first because it seems not very difficult. Is it okay? Is it okay, everyone? Say some response. Is it okay? 好，見到有2個 OK 啊，而家。Is it okay? 我見到YouTube 有一個，跟住 Google Meet 有一個。我啱啱發現原來個日期係錯晒嘅。好，我等大家打 OK 嗰時，我搞翻個日期先。個直播日期係錯晒嘅，原來。稍後一下。嗰個叫做唔見咗。Alright. Let's 改翻未？係得啦 ，OK 啦，好，係我唔記得 update 個日期。好 ，February 9th。好，OK. So this is already okay. This is in fact already the circle equation. Okay, so you can see here it is just a form of distance formula, but taking a square root on both sides. Okay, so the equation of a circle. And so apart from knowing how to write the equation of circle, if I give a center, I give a radius, then you can write down the circle equation easily. On the other hand, we would also like to do a reverse. That is, if I give you an equation in standard form, that is in this form, then you can also read the equation of you can also read the center and radius of the circle. Okay, so this is a center radius form, and by the way, here the textbook gives us a special form. If O is the center, then H and K will both be 0, and therefore it will be x minus 0, y minus 0. But minus 0 means not doing anything, therefore it will be just x squared plus y squared equal to r squared. And it is the most basic normal circle. Alright, then now so we can try some classworks first. Alright, so quick practice 7.1. Let's do these together, and then later and then for the next one we'll try to do the reverse process. That is, how do we get the property from the equation. Alright, so this is generally how we work with the equation. Okay, let's do it. Quick practice 7.1 part A. So you are asked to find the equation, and then if you need to do it in third form, leave the answer in standard form or no need third form because square. Okay, so part A. It is origin, therefore it will be x minus 0 square and then plus y minus 0 square equal to 6 square. Simplifying, it will be x square plus y square equals to 36. 36. Next, for B, then center is 0, 4, therefore x minus 0, and then y will be minus the corresponding y coordinate 4, and then the right hand side will be r square. Simplifying, then we have x square plus y minus 4 square equals to 9 over 4, the square of the right hand side. Finally, part C, then we have minus 4 minus 3 is the center, therefore x minus negative 4, and then y minus negative 3 equals to the right hand side r square. And then therefore we have simplifying, we have x plus 4 squared and then y plus 3 squared equal to, and then doing a square for this one, then it will be 2 will be 4, and then 4 3 is 12. And then so this is a quick practice showing how to write down the equation of the circle. In fact, if you are very familiar with the equation of circle, you can directly write the answer, because I think it's very reasonable that you can directly write it down. It's very reasonable that you can directly write down. It is very reasonable that you can directly write down, because it's just a minus negative and change to plus. It is very direct. Therefore, you can even directly write down. For the standard form, for this center radius form, we can directly write down the answer. Right? Therefore, no need to spend too many steps if you are okay. Always, what I say is, if you can skip it, if you can skip it, then you can skip it. But you don't try to over skip. Sometimes most careless mistakes come from over skipping steps. For example, you want to do 4 steps in 1 step, then you may make careless mistakes, because sometimes we are just careless. Even I will be careless sometimes. Alright, so this is the write down the equation. And then I think it's not very difficult, therefore we go on to the next kind. The next kind will be we do the reverse. What if you have the equation and you want to get back the important information? That is, we have this equation and we want to get back the center and radius. The process is just reverse. We try to recognize how the equation is in the standard form. It is in how it is in the center radius form, and then we can get back those information. When you get back those information, remember I turn back 1 page. That when we get back the information, remember it is minus h and minus k. This is one of the points that students may be careless when they first use it. It is about minus. Therefore, when the equation is in minus, then you just take the numbers. But when the equation is in plus, then you need to change to minus minus if it is plus. Okay, then we see some examples. Okay, maybe I just see this 7.2 without seeing the answer. I try to show this. So try to recognize how the equation is in standard form. That is, try to find x minus what, and then y minus what, and you will get what square. So try to fill the blanks by yourself. What would it be? What would it be? And then you can recognize the center and radius. Again, I think it is not really difficult, but then it is just the problem is sometimes we are not careful enough. But if it seems, I think it is not very hard, because it will just be copy the 4 here, and then plus 2, then it will be minus negative 2, therefore it will be negative 2 here, and then this 7 will be just a square root of 7 square, and therefore we can write down the center to be 4, sorry, I write badly, 4 and negative 2, while the radius will be square root of 7. So we can also directly write it down. Also, for part B, we can do something similar, but then you can recognize part B is not exactly already in the form, because the bracket square is still there, but we have an outside a 4 here. Similarly, for y square, we have an outside a 4 here. Therefore, we better need to divide this 4 to the other side. So our first step, we can be x plus 5 square and then plus y square. Divide the whole 4 to the other side. Okay, so we do divide by 4 for the whole equation. And then now we can recognize the standard form from here, and which is negative 5 and also 0 for the x and y. Therefore, we can directly write down center negative 5, 0, while the radius will be just the square root of the right hand side, which is the square root of 9 over 4, that is 3 over 2. So this is the reverse process. That is, you are given the equation, how do you get back the information, that is the center and radius. So is it okay? Is it okay to you? This is in fact mostly the thing I want to talk about for today. See if it is okay.嗱，呢個基本上今日諗住講嘅就係呢個。咁不過當然就你發覺咁我 worksheet 應該未完全做到嘅，因為呢個最基本嘅。咁我哋未睇其他 example 嘅。咁但係主要想喺度講咧，就係點樣即係揾個 equation of circle， 同埋有 equation of circle 點樣揾翻啲重要嘅資料出嚟。即係一個 centre， 一個 circle 最重要就應該係佢 centre 嘅位置同埋佢幾大個啦。即係你知道 centre 喺邊，同埋知道佢幾大個咧，咁就可以知道嗰個嘅 equation 啦，或者知道佢 exact position 啦。Okay, so any questions? Is it okay? Is it okay up to now? It's about circle equation and the two different kinds of uses, how to write down the equation and also how to get information from the equation. So I hope if it is okay, then let's do some quick practices, and then we see if we have more time to talk about something else. So let's see some quick practices. So be careful. Some of the parts may be more tricky, while some other parts you can read directly. While other parts it may be more trickier, and we may need to do more work. And therefore, so let's take like 5 minutes, okay, maybe 5 minutes, and let's do these together. I mean, you do it, and then we check together later. So later, maybe I will again try to get some help from you, and you tell me the answer. I may choose randomly some of you, and then you tell me the answer. 我哋04分啦，04分應該唔使咁耐嘅，04分，04分對一對答案。咁我會抽人嘅，抽人嚟講嘅。我攞定部 cal 啊，唔係我冇 cal 喎，死啦，點算咧？冇 cal 喎。算啦，唔緊要啦，冇 cal 都有辦法嘅 ，random number 自己是但抽咯。黑箱作業是但抽。好嗱，咁咪04分對答案啦，大家4個 pass。3秒。好時間到啦，我哋抽人咯。我啱啱整咗啦，show 翻個畫面先。好，抽人啦。咁啊，如果抽中咗你咧，你就喺 Google Meet 嗰度答咯嚇。咁我哋逐 part 嚟啦。係呢個好 Google 好犀利啊 ，Random Number Generator RNG。OK 好，part A 好。15號 part A 有請15號喺 Google Meet 嗰度作答。15號 part A。15號喺咩度？喂，係聽到，係你講啊。
負三。
係。
跟住 radio 上。
係好，唔該晒。 Okay, so the center is -3, 7, and also the radius will be a center, and the radius will be 6. Okay, so this is the part A. Alright, next part B. Draw again. 好低效啊，不過照做啦，照撳啦。OK， 好 part B 好慢咧，撳好多下。好 ，number 27。number 27。Oh, number 27, are you here? Number 27, Puppy, are you here? $27喺咪度啊？27哦 here OK 好哦，你係 Google Meet 嘅好。哦，你唔係 Google Meet 嘅，你係 live 嘅 OK 好。Yeah, so Puppy answer please. Center is 5, 0. Okay, center 5, x is 5, y is 0. Radius is square root of 8. Yes, okay, thank you very much. Square root of 8. Of course, I would suggest you, on the other hand, that for the radius, it will be better to write 2 square root 2. Especially if you are taking M2. Because for M2, we always need to simplify the answer. But for compound, square root 8 is okay. But then for M2, then you give 2 square root 2. Okay, next part C. Oh, random number again. Okay, part C, draw. Oh, number 2. For part C.哦，2號喺咩度？2號。2號喺咩度？2號喺咩度？哦，好，我喺 Google Meet 嘅chat 嘅留言嘅。OK， 好，係。Okay, so part C, center radius. Oh, 0, 0 is the center, and 5/4 is the radius. Okay, thank you very much. So 0, 0. You see this one is tricky. We cannot just directly do it. We need to divide the 2 first. Therefore, we write to give x squared plus y squared equals 25/16. Divide by 2. Here, what we are doing is divide by 2. And then, next, so we can read the answer 0, 0. And the radius will be the square root of the right hand side. That is 5/4. Okay, thank you very much. Finally, part D. Let's draw the last one for today. Okay, so the number is number 1. Okay, number 1. So part D, number 1. Oh, 1號喺咪度？係part D， 最後個 part D。Sorry, could you say again? Part D, center, radius. (5/4) 2. Center? You mean the center? This is the center. Oh, okay, 0, -4. Okay, this is the center, and the radius is 開方3. Okay, square root of 3. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so same here. We need to do some divide first, and on the other hand, you also be careful. This is a tricky. It goes y first and then x. Therefore, don't get tricked. It's easy because we sometimes did not see this one. Okay, so divide 3 first. Then we have x squared and then y plus 4 squared equal to 3. And therefore, we can read the center radius now. The center will be 0, -4, while the radius will be square root of 3. 寫翻靚啲個3先。Okay, so this is the center radius form or the centers form. This is mainly what I want to talk about for today. Although we may not do some worksheet, you can still if you want to be more familiar, then you can work on some exercise on 7a. But the worksheet maybe not really. We can start working for it. But then anyway, we will briefly see what are we going to do next. As you can see, the center radius form will be in this form. As in the green box shows, the center radius form. It is basically a distance formula. But well, you will see this form is very convenient in that we can see the center and the radius directly. But then on the other hand, if we when we have equation, we sometimes would need to solve the equation, or we sometimes will need to find some unknowns from the equation. And then if we are to do solving, or if we are to do finding unknowns, then this form may be not very convenient. And therefore, that's why we will introduce another form, which is also equation of circle. But then it will be more convenient for solving and also for finding unknowns, which is generally what we do is we have a general form for straight line or for parabola, for whatever. We always have a general form. We try to make everything on one side, the other side 0. That is we will have it next time. We will talk about another form of equation of circle next time. But always remember, our general original idea is to use distance formula. And distance formula comes from the meaning of a circle. A fixed point, fixed distance, then it is a circle. Then we can write down the relation. But then, well, next we will talk about the general form. And since general form will be more useful for solving and also for finding unknowns, therefore, in fact, most of the time we will be working on general form. But the standard form, the center radius form, is easy to work with. I mean, easy to write and also easy to get information, but then it is not very convenient for solving. Therefore, we will then work more on general form, and it will also be the next time work. Alright, so maybe we have an earlier lunch, and then relax yourself and have your lesson on time in the afternoon, and also see you next time. Okay, so that's all. Goodbye.